It's another day. I think we're going to start with putting the horn bracket on, getting the horn and the light on it. Got a horn mounting kit here. Horn came with the incorrect bracket for whatever reason. So we had to get the right bracket. If this one's original, I don't know, but that bracket was riveted on. And then the bike didn't have the bracket that bolts to the fender. Pretty sure that fender was changed out, so we're going to actually add this bracket to our new fender to make it more like original. Cleaned up a little paint there, here. There's this like
a little device that goes in between here.
Spring type spacer, and you need that because this hardware is just the right size. We'll put a little corrosion inhibitor on there and get this bracket landed. I think we're going to be able to drill this with the bracket on there. We got this mocked up, marked where the holes are supposed to go. I think we're going to take this whole bracket back off and drill that all out. But there's no space to get your hand up under there, so I think it shouldn't be too bad as long as you don't drill into the tire. We got our holes drilled here. And we're going to bolt this piece on first and then assemble the rest of it. Bracket's all mounted up. We're going to stick the horn on. We're comparing them. We're wondering if this is an original or not. But this emblem's got like a curve in it here. This one's straight. But on goes the aftermarket horn. And into the storage box goes this horn.
Well, I'm trying to get the wings straight. And the wires come like this, and here's the horn button, so they'll sweep around.
Comparing these headlights here, this is what came off of it. Don't know if it's original. This one has 3 connections. That's what we're putting on here. This one only has 2. Maybe one of these was a ground, I don't know. But we're putting the fuel continuity tester on it. And the body of this is grounded. So we're just gonna clean up where it lands and bolt it down.
In later years, you had the eyebrow over the headlight bucket, and there was a curved washer. And as you loosen up the nut, you could rotate the headlight up or down to sight in your headlight. This is just a flat washer here, and on the bracket, you have a bolt out. So we're gonna have to sand this. We'll have to sand this area off. And then you gotta adjust the headlight. And as you tighten it down, she wants to take off on you, so you gotta hold it as you tighten it. Chrome in the dark blue makes it really pop. We went with the chrome springs. This is new shinier chrome. Chrome dash. It'll look good. So the guy that rebuilt the engine also rebuilt this generator. And it's a good thing to ever do is set up your charging system so you don't have electrical problems later. He didn't like the way this gear looked. So he took that off, put a new one on here, cleaned everything up. Show him inside the brushes.
Yeah, this gear is cupped in the center. Put a new gear on it.
So he cleaned up the armature and put probably new brushes on it. And now we're just gonna clean it up a little bit more. This was a beat up old tattered cover. We're putting a new one on.
Got the generator in. We just cleaned it up, put a little shark hide on it. Gotta figure out this kickstand. This is kind of interfering with it. I'm gonna have to rebend it or clearance it or something. Starting on the wiring, I shortened the negative terminal and had to solder a bigger ring terminal on it for the screw for the battery. You might solder most all the connections on this bike.
So I got the regulator. You can see the one that says battery, and this bolts up to the generator on top. And I don't know if we're gonna have to polarize the battery or whatever. Polarize this thing. We'll have to read the instructions.
Yeah, that actually hooks up to the casting And the exhaust pipe comes right down in front of it. Probably gets nice and hot. Our negative's on there, first wire's landed. I'm going to mount this junction box now. It looks like they give you a shorter stud. I'm thinking it goes like this longer stud, cover, and the coil. We ended up buying a new coil because that last one we kind of dismantled it and didn't work out.
We got a situation here where this stud holds this junction block here, and then the bolts that hold the clutch on don't allow it to fit, you know, the head was in the way. So I just stuck this in the chuck on the drill bit, wrote a grinder, and then took the cutoff wheel and made a slot, and hopefully, so by the time I get this on, well, I'll do that first. I'll tighten that one up first, and then we'll have the clearance. I can turn this in. See, it clearances it. Before, the nut, this big head was grinding into here and you couldn't turn it.
Here's what we're gonna use for a positive wire. This is like a circuit breaker fuse. We thought about doing an automated circuit breaker, but then I found these and I'm like, you can manually reset it in a pinch. A little shorter than what they gave us. And our schematics tell us to go to this terminal. And this wire is not long enough to go the bottom way, and it's too long to go to the top. So our custom wire here, and fuse, is going to fit in there perfectly. Here it is installed. You can just flip the seat up. You can flip this down and use a key to reset it. When we get it all set up, we're going to do an in-rush amp test to try to figure out which breaker we want in there. We get a whole bag full of them with all different sizes.
Horn bowls. Light works.
Yeah, this is the high-low here.
Tail light. Well, you can't really see it. When I put the, where's the brake light?
It's not hooked up yet. But we got to start, you know, we probably have to train these in better. Hopefully they're all landed in the right spot. But we've been struggling with this exhaust here.
Right, there's no way this exhaust kit fits. You can see where the pipe is really flattened out so it'll clear this oil pump. But when you get this one in there, then this one has to go in there and it's got to get into here, but that's right there. This needs to be up a little bit further to get right in this area. And it would still be a bitch. And here they got this flattened area out. If I put it in there and turned it this way and it would have been flattened over here to clear this, then it would, but it's all chrome, so.
Yeah, I think I'm going to send it back. I'm going to get the painted exhaust. And we're going to be cutting and welding and making it fit good. And then painting it when we're done. Furthermore, somebody had drilled holes in here in the past. Probably had like a self-tapping screw holding the pipe in. Well, this hole is actually at the back of where that thing seats. And this pipe doesn't even go in there far enough to seal it. So we might have to add a little ring on the pipe we got.
I mean, look at that. They're reducing it. I don't know. So this is our brand new Petcock, and you'll see a nice shiny cap. This goes into here. Ooh, that's kind of clogged up. But this fitting is different. And here's the original. They're kind of old and crusty, but they could be cleaned up. And this is the old crusty top. And even if we had to try piecing these up, because this fitting doesn't work for us.
Well, there's nothing. How do you get that to seal? Maybe you need a compression ball in there. I don't know.
But this one, where's the fuel? This is how this goes.
Yeah, that's just a standard flare fitting.
Right.
You take it off. You see, you got this taper here.
Yeah.
So we're going to use the original rod and the original fitting.
think I'm just gonna clean these parts up and save that stuff.
But you want to try to get this to fit? This don't even fit on there.
Right, I'll clean this up.
Pretty much got it all wired up, got the coil on. And we'll have to figure out how to train this in once the tanks are on. The colors on the kit we got weren't perfect for this 48 schematic. We wired it to the 48 schematic because it's more accurate than what this is over here. So we ended up with a hybrid of both of these kind of, but it's working. We got this Petcock in here and we think it's working right. There's tension on that packing, so it shouldn't leak. Cleaning up the threads. We got a chrome shifter for it. These pieces were all pitted. Should look pretty nice. We're about to dump some mineral spirits in it, switch it around and see if our Petcock is sealing. Probably actually have to go to reserve for the thing to work because it's not, it's up high in that rod right now.
That really doesn't flow all that fast. It's not a monster motor making a ton of power, but it's like a Briggs & Stratton. You don't want to keep on going until you act like a press and poke a hole through the tank. So I'm just stopping when it's firming up.
Here's the emblems that were on it. We got some replacement ones. These actually look a little bit different.
These are domed this way. Those are flat.
We'll save these, but this is what we're gonna run. That screw is, we almost lost one of these when we were painting the tank. It's tiny.
I gotta get all the screwdriver.
Let me try to run this screw in here. Clean out some of that paint.
I just don't want to slip and trying to clean the groove out. It's full of crap.
The width of this new emblem's quite a bit wider too. Plus these have a curve to them. And this was flat. I've been trying to bend it to form to the tank. See if we can get it on there. I think it breaks up that black pretty nice. I mean, that stripe doesn't look bad. That shifter is going to be right here too.
We got the shifter on here, and you'll see if I was banging gears, you know, like and doing this with your foot, and you're hitting it, it's going to be scratching it. And you got to kind of lean. It's got notches. Oh, so you wouldn't go all the way down to first. You got to lean it. So it's going to get scratched as it's being used. It looks cool. Here's an old foam. It's supposed to go in so the two tanks aren't knocking each other. And then it's dirty. We gotta see if these will even fit together. Might be too fat. You know, just to keep them from vibrating and wearing metal to metal. So let's just go get the other tank. I'm gonna go get the other tank and we'll put them together.